When we hear the word sacrifice, we usually think about loss, right? About giving something up. But what if we've been looking at it completely backwards? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea that just flips that whole concept on its head and turns sacrifice from a loss into an incredible gift.
So let me just ask you this to get us started. What if the biggest, most important sacrifice you could ever make wasn't about losing something you love, but about finally letting go of something that's causing you pain? What if that one act could unlock a kind of peace you've been looking for? That's exactly what we're getting into today. So, this whole idea of a surprising sacrifice, it comes from a spiritual teaching in A Course in Miracles. And its whole point is that real sacrifice isn't about loss at all. It's about completely redefining what it means to let something go.
Okay, so here's the big reframe. In this way of thinking, sacrifice means you willingly give up the thing that causes you pain, which is fear, and you trade it for something that brings you peace, and that's love. It's not a loss. It's a massive upgrade, really.
And as soon as we see it that way, it presents us with this really clear, fundamental choice. It's a showdown between two opposite forces, fear versus love. And according to this teaching, these aren't just random feelings. They are literally the only two real choices we ever have in front of us.
And when you put them side by side, wow, the contrast is just night and day. Fear is painted as the root of all our suffering. It's what makes us feel separate from everyone else. It's the big obstacle. And then you have love. It's the source of all peace, the thing that brings us together and the actual path to enlightenment.
But here is the absolute key takeaway. You can't have it both ways. The teaching is crystal clear on this. Fear and love just can't live in the same space. So if you want one to grow, you have to be willing to let the other one go. You just have to make a choice.
Okay, so if we have to make a choice, how in the world do we actually do it? Well, that brings us to making the choice for peace, the actual practical steps for how to sacrifice fear.
And the lesson gives us this really powerful, personal statement to make it happen. I gladly make the sacrifice of fear. You hear that word? Gladly. That's the game changer right there. This isn't some heavy burden or a chore. It's a joyful, willing release. And making that choice, saying those words, it's not just some abstract idea. It's a real, conscious step towards what I think most of us are really after, a genuine sense of inner peace and a much deeper connection with the people around us. All right, so we've talked about the what and the why. Now for the really good part, the how. Let's get practical and look at a daily practice with 3 simple tools you can start using today to release fear.
So here are the 3 tools. We're going to start with a daily affirmation to really set your intention for the day. Then we'll cover a mindful breathing technique you can use anytime anxiety creeps in. And finally, a journaling practice to help you reflect and really let go. Let's break them down.
First up is the daily affirmation, and it's so simple but so powerful. The idea is to just start your morning by saying this out loud with conviction. Today, I choose love over fear in all my decisions. It just sets the compass for your entire day. Okay, so what do you do in the moment when you feel that knot of fear or anxiety tightening in your chest? Just pause, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, consciously breathe out that feeling of fear. You're literally creating space for calm, for love to come rushing in. And the third tool, journaling, helps you go even deeper. So first, you pinpoint a specific fear you really want to let go of. Second, you just write, totally honestly, about how it's affecting your life. And then, this is the best part, you shift gears and start writing about all the amazing, positive things that could happen once that fear is finally gone. And hey, here's one more little technique that works so well with the others, visualization. Just close your eyes for a minute and picture this bright, warm light all around you. That's love. Now imagine that light just dissolving any fears you're holding on to, leaving you feeling totally safe and secure.
So, we've walked through the big idea, the choice you have, and some tools to help you. But this isn't really the end. It's actually the beginning. This is where you get to take all of this and make it real in your own life. Your journey, well, it starts right now. So I'll leave you with this to really think about. Take a second and just ask yourself, what fears am I actually willing to let go of, starting today? And what would my life look like? How would it feel if I really truly embraced love in their place? The answer to that question is where the real gift begins.